NFC, who's better, Green Bay or Arizona? I know Green Bay won the head-to-head. I admit, watching that game, I left it feeling like Arizona was better than them and should have won that game.
Green Bay is going to win the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm not just like I've said this for a few weeks now, so it's not like I'm just reacting to a Rams win. I'm not. I mean, like, listen, the Rams. I told a kid in a Green Bay beanie Saturday night, I was like, your team's going to win the Super Bowl, and then I bet the Rams Sunday. So like, go fucking figure. But I don't think the Rams are that good. It's not why I'm saying this. I'm saying this because I like their defense. I'm saying this because the thing that kept me from respecting that team as a contender the past 2 years. I mean, when you've got a jugs machine that runs 17 miles per hour, you've got one of the best multi-purpose backs in the league. You have the best receiver in the league. Your offensive line, you've figured out a way to get that third string guy to block Leonard Floyd, and you've weathered the storm with some of the injuries. The concerns I've always had have been on defense and their physicality, their attitude. The last 2 years, if you came with an attitude, you could kick their ass defensively. And one of my favorite players in the league is Darius Smith. They're going to get him back. They're going to get a few guys back.
Shire's coming back. I mean, he's a stud.
Kenny Clark has always been a bona fide dog, but I wanted to see if dudes around him would step up and be physical. And the new coordinator's done a good job of setting that tone. There were 2 games for me. One of them you mentioned, the Cardinals game, they stepped up defensively. And then, playing Seattle, where they had to keep the points down. They did that, and they were wounded, and they got through that. A year or 2 ago, they wouldn't have gotten through that. And I think they're more physical now. Rashawn Gary's coming, making some plays. He stepped up big. And Rasul Douglas, who I played with in Philly, they basically were like, we got nothing for you. He's been on 6 teams. He's been one of their best playmakers. And the guy, like, every time I bet against the Packers, he burns me. He used to take my money playing pool in Philly, and now he takes my money as a retired player.
Okay, that's bold. I had no idea Aaron Donald was such a McGruber fan.
Can I say this, though, before we get to the throat rip thing? I don't want to, because I know Cardinals fans are sitting here like, listen, the number one reason I said that so like effortlessly is because Kyler Murray, as electric as he is, and I said this earlier this year, this guy, if he figures a couple things out, could have a Lamar-like run of dominance where you're like, this is his league. But a couple weeks ago, he runs out at the sticks and turns his ankle or whatever it was. And I remember thinking, damn, every little limp you see with him, you have to worry that it turns into a couple week thing. And that's not his fault. It's just the way it is. And last year against Seattle, he dinged his shoulder. And the rest of the year, they couldn't use him running the football as much, and they kind of cratered. And I worry about what it looks like when they come back. Now, kudos to Cliff for not rushing him back, but the variability of this team because of that one position is so big to me that I'm going to take the Packers.
Yeah, that's, I think, a completely fair assessment because, I mean, that ankle turn, when you watched it, you're like, oh, he got rolled up a little bit from behind and the adrenaline's going, the injury's fresh. So he closes out the rest of it. But you saw something was wrong. And then you're like, wait, we're going to miss this guy for a month. And I would say his ceiling's beyond Lamar's ceiling.
Definitely.
From a throwing standpoint, the coming back thing is always kind of weird. This is my take on the Russell Wilson thing. I believe that Russell Wilson wanted to come back to prove that he could come back. And that had more to do with him than it did the team. I had Trent Dilfer on Monday where I talked about Baker going, dude, watching Baker run around right now is rough. And he goes, who cares? You got to play. He goes, you get paid all the money. You're the starter. You're the high pick. You're always going to be better than the backup. He's like, you just got to go out there and play, and Dilfer be the guy running around out there without an arm. But I do think that there is also a thing of like, hey, look at me, I came back, which I think Russell Wilson's all about. I think he's about Russell Wilson more than he's about anything else.
Well, we all have we have to be sorry, right? We all have to be fucking competitive because at the end of the day, if you're like, well, I'm hurt, so it's not the best thing for the team, your teammates are still going to look at you sideways. Fans are going to look at you sideways. Coaches, when you're hurt in a building and you walk through that building, you feel like a marked man, dude. Like, when I came back from a high ankle and shot my ankle up every week, I couldn't walk during the week, my contract year. We were 2-14. I don't think anybody gave a shit if I was going to play or not. I don't think anybody was like, oh, he's going to help us. Like, I was coming back for me and for my respect. And that's part of being a teammate. So it's like, there's a big crossover in the Venn diagram between being a teammate and having pride in yourself. So I totally get sometimes putting yourself first a little bit as a football player because the pressures are there to do so.
Yeah, because then on the other side, to be fair to Russell Wilson, you'd be like, well, what if you just said, hey, I'm going to milk this until every last moment? Like, then how would people feel about that kind of thing? So,
They'd be mad.
yeah, they'd be mad about that too. Okay, so let's get back to ripping throats. Aaron Donald in that play, I mean, the fact the ump was kind of okay with it as he was grabbing the Packers. Now, for those that didn't see this replay, Aaron Donald, who, and I'll get to your scouting report on him, goes up into one of the offensive linemen's throats and is just grabbing at his throat. The lineman's like waving his hands like, I'm enough. And the ump just kind of is cool with all of it. So I don't know if he saw something else there, but you are on record every day of your life as saying that Donald isn't just the best player. Like, you're actually scared of him. You would be scared to fight Aaron Donald, and everybody should be scared to fight Aaron Donald, correct?
Yeah, there's a reason they make like weapons and things. And it's for people like Aaron Donald. Here's the deal. When I saw that Sunday, I was like, why 62 did you do whatever you did to create this situation? And you called it a MacGruber throat rip. And yeah, like there's a series coming out soon, so that's great. It's timely. I
want to get Forte on, but I want to interview him as MacGruber. I don't want to interview Forte. I want to just do it as MacGruber, but I feel like that line's going to be long. We'll see. I
feel like you're testing the waters on this strategy, and so people.
No, you know what will end up happening is Big Cat will get him because I just said it.
And Big Cat will do him as MacGruber. Yeah. So, anyways, I said this on my pod the other day. I was like, can you imagine being number 62? And by the way, it was more Darth Vader to me than MacGruber. It was like when Darth Vader just picks the guy up and he didn't have like any control. And the ref, by the way, one of my favorite still shots from that whole video is the ref with his hand up, like, what the fuck, man? Like of all the assignments, he was like the security guard at the Palace the other night when the Isaiah, what was his name?
Isaiah Stewart, Big Stu.
Isaiah Stewart went nuts, and he was like, I didn't fucking sign up for this. 62 can never make a Pro Bowl. You realize that? 62 will be the first player in league history to turn down a Pro Bowl, because if you go to the Pro Bowl, you got to stay in a hotel with Aaron Donald for a week. Think about that. It's like the worst AU trip of all time. And there's the biggest, baddest kid that you pissed off last season, and now you're on his team. Dude, 62 is never going to a Pro Bowl. Mm-mm.
Now, do you not know his name, or are you doing like a little bit of a Harvin Marison thing here?
I'm bad with names. I call everybody by numbers.
Okay.
What's the kid's name? Might as well be John Doe.
I'm just trying to look at the depth chart here now, because I don't know. I get no idea.
He can't tell you his name. He can't speak after that. I mean, his windpipe is all sore. Aaron Donald hit him. You know the guy who's gone viral recently for having all the self-defense techniques that look really easy to get out of. Like, you just have Aaron Donald teach the class. Just grab a guy by his fucking esophagus.
Oh, I've been on this for a long time. The guy has a 9mm at his head in the car, and he's like, and now what all you need to do is this. Like, I can imagine, just because of the way it works, like there needs to be a documentary done on the generation of people that just were like getting guns pulled on them, and they're like, I got this.
Yeah, it's that simple. Somebody comes up behind you, they carjack you, you just tap, and then you pull the barrel, and then it's like, yeah, that's what the guy's into, man. I don't buy that shit.
Yeah. Like, well, I've watched 7 reels on this. I got it.
7 reels.
Oh, wait. So is it Lucas Patrick? Yeah. Finally, I had to go down the depth chart to find him. Duke guy. So that's why you're not.
Duke guy.
That's why you're not naming him.
No, that's not it. Also, RIP. Well, not RIP. I don't want to say that because people might think he died. But David Cutcliffe, he had a great run. He did.
No, I'm saying good self-edit on the RIP.
But yeah, Duke guy,
not dead, just not the head coach.
You would think now this guy 62, who I forgot his name already, John Doe, he's dead. He's as good as dead. Don't go to the Pro Bowl, buddy.
I don't think we have to worry about the Pro Bowl part of this. The best is a couple of his friends are going to hear this and be like, dude, I don't know. I might be fucked now.
Why? Because we talked about it. No, you're good. I got you. Remember we met Aaron and
No, not Aaron. I'm not worried about Aaron.
Oh.
I'm worried about 62 now because I mean he's only 5 years out of school, 300 pounds. Like that's a lot for me to deal with.
I'm not worried about. We know Aaron Donald.
No, Aaron Donald likes me.
But I'm saying I'm not
good.
worried about anything with 62 because we know Aaron Donald.
There you go. Problem solved.